morning, everyone. It's the holidays. Christmas is here. My name is Jan. I live in Barcelona. Every week I show people what I've been up to in my little sketchbook and what's going on in my little life. So I've fallen behind on the art challenge that Marshall Lee of Donkey Job Projects set up. It's called December. We basically try to hone our skills drawing the female form, going through a list of his suggestions every single day for the month of December. You may have noticed it if you are a subscriber because I've been posting a lot of videos, but this past week I've not been able to keep up. Obviously there's been a lot of shopping, there's been a lot of work, and the odd illness, you know, to add to my list of excuses, but I've fallen behind. So now that it is Sunday and it is the 24th, I think it is time to catch up with this little list. So there's day 17 till 24 to catch up to. So that's what I'm gonna do. So this is where I left off, sour taste. Some of these December drawings are drawn without reference. This one, I put up a few faces of people, you know, biting into lemons and limes. And I'm quite happy with how the hair came out. Like I'm kind of getting into the swing of things with the hair, I feel like. Another fun thing with art challenges is like, you know, like you just end up drawing so much stuff that normally you wouldn't, and then sometimes you do. You end up experimenting a lot more. So the texturing in the face, I really had fun with it. But I was really worried that it looked like she was gonna end up having a beard. So I just drew it everywhere. And I think it came out all right for an older lady. I'm still overdoing it. I still kind of have to ease back on this 90s cross-hatching here and there, but we're getting there. So let me just show you some of the previous entries in case you haven't been keeping up with the videos I've been posting. Let's get a little bit more sunlight. This was Believe, and then I just add to it, you know, like this is just from what I draw at work in between phone calls. I work at like a help desk, technical help desk, taking phone calls from Belgium every day. This one was, can't even remember what this one was. Wrong Way, that's the one. This was Wrong Way. So someone going the wrong way, but what I've been wanting to get to with the challenge is work up to drawing full scenes more, because I think I'm okay with anatomy and drawing faces. That doesn't mean you can never get enough practice, but this was fun, just drawing a little street corner and then drawing multiple figures. This is more stuff from work. Like trying to keep it simple and not overdo the rendering. I really like drawing very rough with this very thick pencil I have, and then just doing most of the work in ink. And lately I'm actually using the eraser. This was Experiments. Fully rendered, over the top, very cartoony character. There's the little experiment. The lab assistant, or is that the actual professor? And this is the assistant, who knows? More sketches from work. This was the listening, so more like listening in. Quite pleased with how this one came out. Drawn in just an ordinary pen, which is sometimes the most fun. It's like how I remember drawing at school. So yeah, quite like that one. This is another day, TikTok. I didn't intend to include this one. This was actually just a sketch at work. But then when I got stuck for time, I was like, well, I guess it kind of looks like she's indecisive between the two men in her life or something. Like there was a story building. And I quite liked keeping this one in pencil, and then trying to get these two in ink. The hair, with a little bit of gray tone, I found it a lot easier to get some nice line art on the hair going here, because I could see it better. And when it's just black and white, I want to draw the gray tones and I feel like maybe that's why I'm overdoing it. So just something to keep in mind. Let's get to the next page. This is upside down. Use reference, messed up the, I didn't mess up the perspective, but it's not actually, like, I just kind of had to make the body work because I made some mistakes early and then just kind of kept going. But quite pleased with this one. Some more drawings from work. You need attention. Stop ruining my sweater. Honor, not happy with that one at all, but I actually feel like I learned a lot more because I just went in straight with a very thick Japanese pencil brush and then did the thin lines after. It's a great way to save time, but when I screw it up, I tend to screw it up bigly. So, some anatomy. This is after an Art Adams drawing, I'm pretty sure, because I was reading some of his comics, and I'm always checking out stuff on his Facebook page. Sisters, Day 8. This was another drawing where I kind of screwed it up. Like, there's supposed to be two little girls, and then I end up drawing her head way too big, and then, you know, from there it just turned into a different kind of story on the page. Some more drawings, looking at comic books. I like seeing what works and how they hold back. Quite fun. I really enjoyed like just messing around drawing this one. This is definitely from a photo. I think that's Beyonce. This is day 7, grinning. Still overdoing it on the hair, but overall, as a fully rendered, I think this effect is quite nice. Yeah, this is a little too messy here because I was just messing around and not really thinking about what I was actually drawing. Like, why does she have her sleeve here? But here, is it rolled up? And it just doesn't work, you know? Because I didn't think it through. And then some more drawings right here. This isn't a particular day. This is just some pictures I put up and drew. And secrets. So there's a little treasure box. She's running away. It was only afterwards when I was like, is she naked? I guess that kind of fits in, but then it's kind of weird. And just made a very messy abstract background. Some more faces. This is day 5, thinking, school bench. I just kind of made this up, and then afterwards I was like, why would you sit at a school bench like that? Like, it would always be turned. Again, didn't think it through. Dancing, quite fond of this one. It's from reference, because I wanted to get the, I just wanted to have the couple dancing right. I've never drawn a couple dancing before. I'm quite pleased with the comic book rendering of this one. And then I tried to draw the lady again, but there was a different picture. I tried to practice his hair just a little bit, but like in a different way. All right, let's keep going. Back in time, catch you up. Day 3. This is the climbing, I guess. Wall climbing it turned into. Day 2. This was straight in ink, so I'm very pleased with how this one came out. And this is the first day. Just ballpoint. Trying to save on time and just get going. So yeah, let's go back. Oh, and I drew my flatmate and his girlfriend for Christmas. He wanted to give it as a little present, so I'll show you guys that now.
Which means you should go out, but that's my prerogative.
Diferentes momentos, ¿qué estilo necesitas hoy? Diferentes looks, diferentes peinados, siempre respetando tu cabello.
So we went to see the new Star Wars movie. So here's my 1-minute review. Because if you want to see the full spoiler review, I did that with Marshall on his page. We did completely spoil the whole movie. So don't go there if you haven't seen the film. But basically, my review is like, and there's so many surprises in this film, and they so toy with every expectation about every character and plot line from the previous film. And it's awesome, and it feels fresh. And I'm not sure I agree with everything, but it really makes this film feel like the newest since the last one, if that makes sense. But I mean like the newest as in, like it just feels fresh, you know? Like, and I don't know where they're gonna go after this one. And I'm really excited about seeing it for a second time, not because I love Star Wars, but just because I just need to process what I've just seen, you know?
And not the face that Yoda was putting on, yeah.
Have you seen Star Wars? And his concepts of what is the Jedi Master is blown out the window. Jedi Master doesn't have to be a big, tough, strong guy. He can move
So here we are. I tried so hard to avoid any commissions this holiday season, just because, you know, once you work in an office and you get to have the holidays off, you get used to that very quickly and hang on to that. So I made sure I had nothing to do. But the first pictures he's seen, he was very pleased with it. So on to the next drawing.
It's time for a little surgery. My Mac has been acting up. It's been making a lot of noise, and it's caused a lot of crashes. See that? So it's time for a little spring cleaning. And I've been putting this off as long as possible, of course, because I have two left hands and only one of them is good at art. And so I kind of try and avoid this kind of stuff like the plague. But I've done it once before when I upgraded my Mac with an SSD drive, which was one of the best things I've done in a long time. And certainly kept me happy a lot longer with this machine, which is getting a little long in the tooth, but you know. I'm very happy that this 7-year-old laptop is still pushing Photoshop right where it needs to be for me to make comics. I wish I could do more 3D on it. That's definitely a no-go area, especially because so many of them are PC. And I never went the whole bootcamp route, but I'm thinking about it now. If I get a new computer one day, hopefully sometime in the next year. I've got a list of programs I would love to check out. Okay, so these are the really itty bitty tiny ones. You see that? They're annoying. Alright. Let's get that sneeze out of the way now. Alright, so let's see what we got. Which is the top, actually? Wait. It's dusty already. I should have brought a cloth. Wow. It's still looking pretty good though. It's not as bad as I thought. I mean, it's messy and it's definitely filthy, but at the same time, the thing to watch out for with these, of course, is that it might drip. And then, if that happens, you're screwed. Seems to be secure. Comes off. See that? Uh-oh. Oh my god, that was definitely fluid. Did I just kill my Mac? So it wasn't as
filthy as I expected. I've cleaned out, not this one, but another one before. And, stupid little thing. So what else has been happening? Well, it's Monday. I missed my Sunday upload because I've been uploading videos every day, and it's a bit of a pain. That seemed to be my lot in life. So what I did yesterday, I actually met up with my friend Javi. And are these the deep ones or not? So I met up with Javi, and he offered to help me out with that's a small one, with getting a new deal on broadband, because his internet is actually amazing. Like it's like incredible. Like one of my videos at his house that here would take hours would take like 10 minutes, you know, a couple of gigs, no problem. That's what I want, and that's what everyone in the house wants. So the contract is in my friend's name, so then we'll ask her to simply cancel it, since there's no more contract really. We can do whatever we want, and then wait, okay, it fits. And then I'm going to start a new one in my name for with a year, so that should be cool. This little thing fell off too. That looks pretty rotten. Actually, how's this one? Should cover this up. I still have some blue tack here. So yeah, these are my, it's one of my New Year's resolutions. To get proper broadband installed for all of us to enjoy. Because the thoughts I've been having in upgrading my Mac. Like I've been doing the math and like monthly installments and like what I can afford, and like should I pull the trigger now or later, because I thought this one was gonna die already. So I've been looking at all that stuff, right? Why is this not getting stuck? So yeah, and like one of the cool things, of course, is like there's so much cloud stuff going on these days, and I'm really fond of, I'm a lot more fond of Dropbox than I am of iCloud, simply because whenever I upload something to Dropbox, it actually uploads. It doesn't wait and decides on its own. It simply uploads. So that is a deep one. Okay. Anyway, kind of my thoughts. But then Dropbox also has my movies, my fan edits, and the works. Okay, well I guess I have one spare, just like a car. All right, let's see what the damage is, guys. This is a scary moment. All right. So if it's fried, no tears, it's only a thing. It's only a thing. It's only a thing. It's only a thing. Actually, speaking of things, the screen could do with a clean. So, coming home after work one day where I was definitely not 100%. Went straight to bed, put some TV on, but felt the urge to draw. So I got out the Cintiq, and it is a tablet. And even though I don't find it particularly portable because of all the cabling, I managed to find myself a spot in bed so I could do some drawing. And there's something I've been meaning to do for some time. Like, I've been really eager to do something completely different and just have a little bit of fun with this game that I've been obsessing about lately. Probably because of the music. You've heard me talk about it in previous videos if you've been watching. And it's a little 80s beat 'em up called Double Dragon. I love the music, I love the game, and I thought, you know, I got that urge, like I really want to do something like with making a game, and then if I could just put it to the side, but then since I was sick anyway, I figured I didn't have to put it to the side anymore. I could just make a little bit of a start. So I watched some more tutorials on a particular engine, and I'm not saying that I'm actually gonna make a little mod or a game, but I thought if I would, and it would be just for the sake of scratching this itch and making something that I've always wanted to do, and I have done in the past, I would want to keep it as simple as possible. So something 2D, like this game, something that doesn't have a lot of technicalities art-wise going on, like small, simple, can still be hard to get good at, but you know, nothing to get carried away in programs. And so this little 2D spritey art I thought would be fun to just get started on. And just, you know, as a kid I always wanted to play these games and like make my own backgrounds, and like, what if you could go here, what if you could go there? So I thought, like, well, why not just have a bit of fun with it? So I found some of the backgrounds for the game online, dropped them in one big Photoshop file, like different backgrounds from different, like the first one, the second game, and then I just started tying them together. So let me just show you what I got. What you've just been watching slide by is the Area 1 background. But what if we could zoom out a little bit? Because it's going to be on a bigger screen. It's going to be in 1080. And, you know, it's a little too pixelated these days. So one of the first things I thought, like, well, what if you could simply go to the left? I haven't finished it more than this right here, but I just started finishing up the building and placing a ladder just out of view, clearly, so that you can go to the top of the roof and have your little adventure there. So I must say, like, making this kind of pixel art, and what I've been doing is just, because these backgrounds are built up from tiles, so little 16 by 16, and so I've just been stamping them all over the place to just build up more background. I figured you should be able to go up here on the little square, so I got rid of the barrels, and then over here in the industrial area, which you just saw the game, there's just lots of opportunity for different routes, you know, continuing the ladders, building out the scaffolding further. This little area here, there's enemies normally coming out of the door, but I figured, like, wouldn't it be fun if you could actually go onto the conveyor belt to the next area? And so the next area is a flipped version of the Double Dragon 2 level, which is basically a remake of the first level industrial area you just saw, but just with, you know, different graphics. But even like the layout is the same, if you can see that. So yeah, what can I say? It's been extremely relaxing yet satisfying building out this level compared to all of the other art that I've been making, like for the comic book, the portraits. It's just been very, very different, and it's a bit of a palate cleanser. So I'm definitely going to continue. But this Christmas, because, you know, you want to play with your toys, I'm definitely going to spend some time on this one. I've added this whole subterranean area, and I figure, what's up, Bloody? I figure if I could just make one giant 2D map with no fancy different layers scrolling, whatnot, I can drop it in the video game engine, and then at some point, once this is all finished, just have a bit of a go trying to get it scrolling and ripping some of the sprites for the main character, and just to see if I can get him up and walking. I don't think that should be too hard, maybe a day's work at most. The trickiest thing is going to get the camera to stop where I want it to stop, rather than like you'd expect it to behave in an engine, which is just to follow the player around. Like I want it to stop at particular areas, just like in the original game. But that's a long way off. In the meantime, I'm gonna have some more fun building out this level. I hope you guys have a great holiday season. I hope you enjoyed watching this little recap of the last week and a half or so, what's been happening here in Barcelona with me in my sketchbook. I try and put these out every Sunday, but in the last couple of weeks, it's been like every 2 weeks as I've been wrapping up for Shecember. If you don't know what Shecember is, be sure to check out the hashtag. I'll be sure to put a link down below. Check out Marshall's channel. Be sure to look up Ox and all of the other wonderful people in the V100s community, because Life in Space, the anthology comic book, could be coming your way soon. How soon? Well, I think we might be making an announcement in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And by 2 or 3 weeks, I mean the beginning of January. Oh my God, it's 2018. Oh. I can barely even remember 2003. Anyway, time to cook up a little dinner. I think I feel like it's either going to be frozen pizza or hamburger. Yeah. Hamburgers and eggnog.